All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders and teachers at Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. It's Brother Howard Shai Zion coming through with this real quick message through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So, I wanted to do a video on this and related to the scriptures. So I want to talk about money. I want to talk about cash. All right. Cash money. All right. I was talking to the brother Kassad and speaking about how money reveals character. And it's facts. The Lord taught about it. The Lord mentioned money many times in the scriptures because it reveals the character. Everybody in this world seeks after these things, like the scriptures talk about what the Gentiles seek and all of these things. But the scripture says, seek first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Something to consider. This scripture here is Luke 16 and verse 11. It says, if therefore ye have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, which is money, who will commit to your trust the true riches? Okay. So you expect the Lord to give you knowledge, wisdom, and understanding when you can't even manage the unrighteous money that you have? You're going to be trusted with the true knowledge, which is true riches. Because remember, silver is but clay to wisdom, right? Silver's but clay to wisdom. It can't compare. It's worthless. You can't go purchase wisdom. It's got to be given and it's got to be sought after. You have to study to show yourself approved unto the Lord. Okay? You need to be a workman that Slakia that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And one of the best things that you brothers can do is ask the Lord for this wisdom. All right? You have not because you ask not. And the scriptures talk about seeking. And you're going to find, knock and the door shall be opened unto you. So a lot of people don't want to ask for help. And when they ask not, they have not because they ask not. And when they ask amiss. They're not even asking for the right things. Oh, Lord, if you could just give me some money, and just pray for money. How about pray for the ability to manage money? Because then you'll be trusted with much, much more. All right. And it reveals character. A lot of guys that I've dealt with in this truth too, when we were dealing with money, it revealed who they truly were. I see how they dealt. Or if we come around certain people and the way that they manage their money is off. Or the lack of, contribution or, certain agreements or arrangements that may be made and then not fulfilled, just people screwing up with money, and it reveals the character. Or people may return back and pay their debts or whatever it may be, in a lot of ways that brothers work and deal with each other is out of like sincerity. But if the way that you deal is not fulfilling promises and things like this, breaking your word, or just dealing off in the spirit, it reveals your character, like the scripture says right there, Luke 16 and 11. If therefore ye have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will commit to your trust the true riches? Okay. Let me go back to Luke 16 and 10. It says, he that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much. This is the power of the Lord. All right. This is the Lord saying this. So if you're not able to manage small amounts or small areas, or even like, let's say, even the household that you have, your woman, you don't know how to deal with your woman. What makes you think that you could manage two women? You can't even manage one woman and you want another one? And that's not even really the spirit to be in. It's nothing wrong with it, but it's not even the spirit to be in right now. We're in the spirit of erring on the side of caution and being careful and preparing for, hard times, man. This is perilous times right now. And again, committing yourself to the Lord, this is the most important thing that you can do. Remember, all these things are going to be added onto you, the money and stuff like that, and the riches and all of that. People who they ask for these things, they're not prepared to even receive them. So at the foundation of things, you should be asking for the foundation of things for preparation, for the foundation of things. Like, Lord, what you should say is, and Yahweh Bashem Yoshai, give me the understanding of how to be faithful over small amounts of money so that I can be trusted with more. Okay? That would be something proper. Teach me to be faithful over small amounts of money, or to deal with my family correctly so I can be trusted with more, if that's what you desire, you see? Because the Lord will give you the desires of your heart. But ultimately, guess what? It's all tied back to the scriptures. Everything is tied back to the scriptures. The Lord uses these certain scenarios because he knows that people focus on this so much. Oh, I want all this money. I want to make all this money. But you don't know how to deal with it. Just don't know how to deal. Luke 16:8, it says, and the Lord commended the unjust steward because he had done wisely. For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light. See, a lot of you Israelites, you men who even know you're Israelites, you don't apply the scriptures. All right? And that's why these people who are out here, Esau, he teaches his children how to deal with money, how to conserve it, how to be careful, how to multiply it. But our people, they're not as wise as these people here in the world. These worldly ass people are lapping you because you're just not applying the biblical principles in the scriptures. And even one is, like I just provided, which this is a case here with Yahweh Shai speaking on being faithful over small amounts of money, keeping your word. How about that? The Lord hates liars, people who don't keep their word. He hates that. You say you're going to do one thing and you don't do it. You don't show up. You don't do what you say you was going to do. So the Lord's going to be wroth with a person like that, man. You have to be spiritual. And you brothers, if you got into the scriptures in just the most easiest way possible, things can be added onto you later. Learning is very important. Reading the scriptures for yourself. These worldly jobs and this shit like this, sometimes we apply ourselves so much at these jobs, but guess what? There's a means, it's just a means to an end. It's just so we can really ultimately do this. We just want to free up time. Honestly, man, I just want to get enough money to free up time so I can study the scriptures and travel and preach the scriptures in different cities. I want to go to different cities and preach the scriptures. It's very important. And now, look, the internet does the heavy lifting and things. So, times are changing, man. Times are definitely changing. This technology and all of this shit. But it wasn't always like this. We had to actually physically go to certain places. Now, we're not going to be traveling overseas and doing the shit that IUIC is doing. But within our given region, yeah, man, look, Paul made different journeys, man. He's an apostle. over certain regions and made little journeys, man. But now with the power of the internet, we're able to basically travel all across the world real quick through the message. But I say that to say this video here is to alert you brothers, to be faithful over the money that you have so that the Lord can multiply onto you in more ways than one. And not just the money, man. Scriptures. All right? You can't be trusted with the scriptures if you can't be trusted with money. That's powerful, man. That's powerful. Look. Once again, Luke 16:11. If therefore ye have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will commit to your trust the true riches? That's fire, man. That's fire. You just need to understand that. True riches are here with the Lord. Proverbs 8:18. Riches and honor are with me, yea, durable riches and righteousness. My fruit, this is verse 19, my fruit is better than gold, yea, than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. Okay? And why is that? It's like this. When you teach a man, or if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for that day. If you teach him how to fish, he will eat for the rest of his life. It's the same principle here. Okay? It's the same exact principle. That's that. Let me say the scripture again. Proverbs 8:18. Riches and honor are with me. Yea, durable riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, yea, than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. So obviously that's important, right? The scriptures are important. But remember what Yahushua taught, that also the money, that's regular money, is important too. It is very important. It is very important how you regulate it. And you can't just go, oh, well, man, we're going to be in the kingdom anyway. Who cares what I spend my money on? No, well, the Lord cares. The Lord cares what you spend your money on. The Lord cares, all right? He said it right here. Luke 16:11. If therefore ye have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will commit to your trust the true riches? Again, that's part of rightly dividing the word of truth and having discernment. If you lack discernment, you're going to be stupid with your money. You're going to squander your money. Part of that is being dumb with your money, doing stupid shit, spending it on women and doing this dumb shit and giving chicks money and giving stupid people money, helping out the wrong people who don't give a damn. You don't help wicked ass people. And even the scriptures say that. Do good unto the godly man. That's good. That's a good look. Help the godly man. Don't help these wicked ass people. Don't enhance their lives in any way. They're not worth anything. Who cares? You handle your own business, all right? And you deal with yourself the proper way. And you give alms to the righteous man, to the godly man, the apostles, okay? The apostles of Great Millstone who are faithful. And they've been faithful over few. And that's why they've become ruler over much. What they had, they stayed faithful to the scriptures. They stayed faithful to the cause. And the Lord made them ruler over much. That's why they're now elder apostles and over many different camps and things like this. And the elder bishops too, staying faithful to the cause. That's being faithful over few and being ruler over much now. And they must deal decently with their money because that's what the scriptures say. You're not going to trust you with the true riches unless you know how to deal with what you have. And that doesn't mean that you're going to be rich beyond your wildest dreams and everything. Nah, man, in this kingdom here, we're going to have sufficient in order to get by. And some of us will be given a much because we can handle much. And to us, it's not even much. It's just whatever. It's not as important as others view it. Like if I have a lot of money, I don't go and buy anything with it. I don't even give a shit. I just want to pay my debts off. That's it. I want to pay my debts down. Maybe I'll buy like 2 pairs of jeans or something just because I literally need the shit. Because the ones that I got are all beat up. I'm not going out buying Gucci belts and shit like that. And that's just not for us, man. That's not the spirit to be in, man. Gucci down. Look, man, Jake can dress, man. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? I can throw down some shit, but that's not my focal point. I don't care about that. I'll get some cheap ass Temu stuff and I don't even care, man. Still look fly doing it too. But you know what? That's again, it's just about being wise with your money. And then you could be trusted with true riches, the scriptures, giving alms, being faithful over what you have. So this is a lesson to brothers to really just wake up to this. I want you brothers to really examine, how you've been dealing in your affairs and let this edify you, man. Some of us need to be told this before it's too late. Don't do stupid things with your money. Stay on point, man. All right? So with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Shalom to the hopeful elect.